What in tarnation is that? A painting or a photograph? With some art, like what's in this here gallery, it's hard to tell unless you really look close for brush strokes. That's kind of the point. It's a style called photorealism. Famous photorealist artists include Chuck Close and Richard Estes. You can see they often took inspiration from what was right in front of them. Ohio artist Frank Oredi also uses this style while painting the friends in his life. He took inspiration from Norman Rockwell, a famous illustrator who worked in a similar style. Rockwell was known for his illustrations of American life on the covers of the Saturday Evening Post. He started his career early as the art director for Boy's Life, the Boy Scouts magazine, when he was only a teenager. Frank Oredi began pretty early in life too. Take a look.
My mom came home with this Norman Rockwell address book, and I want to say every few pages had one of his paintings in it. And what struck me was, for the first time, I was seeing work that was so realistic that it looked, you know, almost photographic. After I graduated Bowling Green, it would have been spring of 2007. You know, I'd just gotten this degree in painting and drawing, and there's not really a lot of things you can do, especially in Cleveland at the time, where you're using your art degree. But I moved home and I moved back into the house that I grew up in. And I think at that time I started thinking about how a lot of my friends, and myself included, all left our part of town to go away to college or go to the military. And you know, with the understanding that we were going to go out into the world and not return, or return under different circumstances. And then we all ended up coming home. And that struck a chord with me, and I started thinking about that.
I would say about half of the people he's painted are my friends, or I know them. So I feel like there's a lot of characters in Cleveland. I mean, just how much it looks like everybody, just like the detail of even like the vest I was wearing, like just like denim and just hair, even like the little strings coming off of fabric, like it just blew my mind.
I've seen people paint realistically, obviously, before, and photorealistically, which is what he does. What impressed me was the fact that there was so much feeling and so much a sense of the presence of the person in these paintings. In his own self-portrait, which was, I think, the first thing I saw of his, and in a number of other portraits of young men and women, usually, who apparently were members of his circle and his family in Parma. I was blown away.
I would say that it was definitely a generational thing, that we were experiencing this decision or lack of decision making that all kind of had us returning home, trying to show that uncertainty or that struggle that we were experiencing, we are experiencing as a generation. That was one of the main goals in what I was trying to accomplish in the earliest portraits.
He's a guy with a lot of hope. You wouldn't expect these paintings to be produced by a hopeful guy, by a guy who has Norman Rockwell informing his unconscious, by somebody who has that kind of American dream in the background. I think that in the end is what those early discouraged people in those paintings are about, is the fact that he himself really is a man of considerable hope and determination. And he believes in himself. He believes that he can do it. And the world is responding to this. Frank is a success story. I think he'll continue to be.
Well, what do you think about photorealism? Is it better than just taking a photo? Let us know in the comments below. And check out our other videos about seeing faces in art, or learning about the pretentious artists of Cleveland.